Shalom, this is Jim Woodard inviting you to join me on the Images of Israel tour departing February the 27th, 2019. Our tour begins with an overnight flight from New York to Tel Aviv, arriving in time to gather our luggage and board the bus to begin day 2 by heading into the Negev desert to the beautiful Bedouin village of Kfar HaNokdim. There we will dine under the stars on traditional Mediterranean dishes served with true desert hospitality before turning in for the night to the sounds and aromas of the Negev desert. Day 3 begins with a camel ride through the Negev as we make our way to Beersheba to visit Abraham's well and recount the life of the father of our faith. Then we will move on to the breathtaking sights found only from the top of Masada, King Herod's famous mountaintop fortress. After Masada will be a great time to take a dip in the Dead Sea before closing out the day at En-Gedi, where David and his men hid from King Saul. We'll spend the night at the Al-Mag Resort Kibbutz by the Dead Sea, the lowest place on earth. Day 4 takes us up the Jordan River to Tel Jericho, the Mount of Temptation, and the Jordan River crossing, where Israel entered the Promised Land and where you will have the opportunity to be baptized in the same vicinity where John the Baptist baptized Jesus. Day 5 finds us traveling into Samaria, where we will visit the ancient city of Shechem and see Jacob's well, Joseph's tomb, and stand between Mounts Gerizim and Ebal, the mountains of blessing and cursing. As the day ends, we will make our way into the most special city on earth, Jerusalem, where we will lodge at the famous Olive Tree Hotel. Day 6 will find the sun rising over the Mount of Olives and the ancient Temple Mount. A full list of things to do will start at the City of David, where we will traverse Hezekiah's tunnel, move up to the southern steps of the Temple Mount to contemplate the many times that Jesus walked through this very spot on his way to the Mount of Olives, then move around to the Western Wall to join local Jews and pilgrims from around the world in prayer at the most sacred prayer place on the planet. The afternoon will be spent in ministry, serving meals and distributing clothing at the King of Kings Church in downtown Jerusalem. Then back to the Olive Tree Hotel for dinner and reflection. Day 7, our second full day in Jerusalem, starts at the Emek Zurim Sifting Project, where you might find a ring from Hezekiah's time, a cup from King David's time, or a piece of jewelry worn by King Solomon. Then to the Mount of Olives overlooking the Temple Mount across the Kidron Valley, to reminisce about the prophecies of the prophets and visit the Garden of Gethsemane. Back to the walled city to the Arab Quarter, Pool of Bethesda, St. Anne's Church, and the Isi Homo where Roman soldiers flogged the Lamb of God. As the day winds down, we will move through the Christian Quarter and visit the traditional garden tomb where we will end the day with the Lord's Supper. Day 8 will start in Jerusalem on Mount Zion, then to the Zion Gate, Upper Room, and Jewish Quarter. Our final stop in Jerusalem will be the Yad Vashem to view the solemn reminders of the terror of the Holocaust. As we depart Jerusalem, we will traverse through Jaffa, where Peter stayed with Simon the Tanner on our way to Galilee, where our first stop will be the overlook at the Golan Heights for a breathtaking panorama of the Sea of Galilee. From there, we will travel to the western shore of the Sea of Galilee for a sunset Bible study and a refreshing evening at the Leonardo Hotel in Tiberias. Day 9 provides a tour of sites familiar to every Bible student, including Capernaum, the Mount of Beatitudes, and Tagba, the traditional site of the feeding of 5,000. We will view the Galilee Experience movie before closing the day visiting the cliff where the demon-possessed pigs launched into the Sea of Galilee. And yes, a trip to the Sea of Galilee wouldn't be complete without St. Peter's fish for lunch. Day 10 marks the final day of touring as we board the bus to drive through Cana, stopping at the Nazareth Overlook, then up to Mount Carmel where Elijah challenged the prophets of Baal, and a view of the Valley of Armageddon, where the climactic battle of all times will take place. As we move southward, we will stop by Caesarea by the Sea to tour the remnants of Herod's seaside palace and the surrounding city. From there, we make our way down the coast of the Mediterranean to Tel Aviv, for our final supper in the land of Israel before boarding a late-night flight back to New York. Day 11 finds us back in the U.S., leaving the Holy Land behind, but bringing back a lifetime of memories for our faith journey. You'll never read the Bible the same after 10 days in the land where it all happened. Seating is limited, so go to yoshertours.com and book your seat on the Jim Woodard 2019 Israel Tour today. That's yoshertours.com. Join me as we depart on February the 27th, 2019 for the experience of a lifetime. Until then, shalom.